Well, hi there, Original Soul. Welcome into this August reading. So, for the month of August, let's run through Love, Money, Purpose. I'll get a card each out of Moonology here, and we'll add some tarot. I hope you're doing super well. All right, so let's see what we get here. One for love, one for money, one for purpose. All right. We're just here at the beginning of August. I'm recording this on the 3rd. So we'll see what kind of energies we've got at play here. Let's do one more shuffle. Cutting the deck with your dreams need a practical plan. And then at the bottom of the deck, have faith in your dreams. Right, so don't give up, but maybe you need to bring some sort of action steps or a little more methodicalness into it. All right, let's see here. All right, love, money, purpose. In love, a fiery climax approaches. Ooh la la, let's see here. So for some of you, this could be something like passionate. Maybe you meet someone and you can't stay out of the bedroom, that sort of thing. Or for others, you know, this could be something a little bit more serious where there's been some sort of issue going on in a current relationship. And maybe that's about to come to a head here. All right, so let's run through that. What else do we got here? Money, what do you need to release? And then purpose, communication is key. Underlying energy here at the bottom of the deck, new moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle approaches. All right, so for some of you that are single out there, right, like I said, maybe you're meeting a fiery person, maybe it's an Aries, or again, just someone who has a lot of passion, or this connection brings a lot of passion. All right, but let's see here what we get out of the tarot. All right, a fiery climax approaches, exclamation point. Ooh, so for some of you, this could be something to do with reconciliation, someone from the past, maybe coming back around. We've got the 6 of Cups here. So if this is like you're single, not seeing anybody, again, somebody could pop back up into your awareness. Maybe this is somebody that you dated previously, or just somebody that you had met and were interested in, but possibly, or obviously, right, nothing really happened with that, didn't really go anywhere. Maybe somebody's bringing you flowers. Got a lot of pretty white flowers here on this card. For those of you that are in a relationship, this either could be something that is coming to an head, maybe about children, right? Maybe there's something that you've got going on, you know, where maybe you aren't agreeing with the other person, or, you know, just something to do with kids in that way. But this could be about needing to bring in more compassion, needing to bring in maybe even some sort of an apology, whether that's something you need to offer or if that's coming to you. It's almost kind of this opposite energy of, the fiery climax. Let's see here. What do we get? A bunch of stuff popped out. And on the floor. I'll grab them. Let me pick them up. Yeah, they're 5 of Pentacles here. So again, there is some sort of wounding. Okay, that bloody bandage around that little boy's head there. And around his hand, right? The mom is sort of consoling him. So like I mentioned, there could be some sort of situation or issue. Maybe even it's a medical issue, and that can bring a big strain on relationships, right? Where you're making obviously maybe your children more of a priority than the other person. All right, we're gonna put those back because that was way too many. But it's time to rest a little bit. I feel like there's been a lot of anger, maybe even volatility in this situation. And that can do a lot of damage, right? So maybe there's been a lot of really hurt feelings, or again, just feeling kind of left out or lack. All right, we'll get one more with it and then we'll move on to money. See if I can keep them on the table here. Queen of Swords and the Moon. So yeah, maybe there is some sort of truth that comes out. Maybe this is something that's been kept a little bit of a secret. For some of you, you know, maybe you do have a person that came back from your past, but you're already with somebody right now. So there could be something in that vein where maybe you finally admit the truth or find this out about another person as well. All right, so a couple different scenarios with there under love, right? New passionate person coming in. Again, this could be someone from the past, maybe somebody that did walk away from you potentially, and you had some hurt feelings or really felt like maybe you were abandoned, right? But they possibly have been kind of watching you or have their eye on you, and that's something that might come out and about here. Like I said, could be a really passionate connection, passionate relationship. And then for others of you, right, you've had maybe some turmoil going on in a situation. If you're in a current relationship, potentially even something to do with children, or some sort of hurt or pain, right, that might need some compassion or forgiveness. And for others of you, right, there could be sort of maybe a secret, you know, something that needs to come out, something that needs to be shared, whether that's from you or the other person. Okay, moving on to money. What do you need to release? What is this waning moon? Got a beautiful snowy little scene. Something at nighttime. So maybe you stay up at night worrying about finances. Maybe you have too much on your plate. Maybe you've taken on too much. Is there anything that you could let go of? Right, letting go of fear and right, working on making some sort of plan. All right, let's see what wants to come out here. All right, but sometimes specifically with money too, I've been there before where I feel like I can't afford anything, have a hard time, right, even getting enough money to pay my bills. But then when you look a little bit closer, there's just like tons of shit I'm spending, you know, frivolous money on, things I don't need. A lot of times those are things, right, that kind of make you feel better in the moment. So I don't know, maybe for someone out there, you even have some sort of like shopping addiction, or you know, previously for me, it was like spending a lot of money on alcohol, right? And that's helping nobody. So maybe there is some sort of habit that could be released that would really free up not only a lot of your time, but your resources as well. All right, so let's see what this is about here. Maybe there's even like a way that you try to present yourself or have people see you, and that really isn't the true situation, right? So let's say, you know, you go out to lunch a lot at work because that's what everyone else is doing, even though you know you should be like brown bagging it and just bringing some leftovers or eating something healthier anyway, things like that. Yeah, 8 of Pentacles. So this could be some sort of like legacy or something that you've really been chipping away at here, or just dedicating a lot of your time and energy to. So maybe taking a closer look as if what you've been focused on, is it actually helping you? Is it actually stacking up those pentacles, or is it draining you? It could have to do with going out too much or trying to impress friends or other people. Yeah, as I see the Hermit flip out. So like I said, it might be time to take a harder look, go within, really assess like what you're doing. Maybe you need to spend a little bit more time alone. As I mentioned, maybe not going out so much. Let's see here. 3 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Another person just chiseling away. Right, and the Ace of Pentacles is usually some sort of new opportunity. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be successful. That will take hard work and effort. Right, maybe you've even been working on something with other people or with a team. And again, maybe you're the one doing everything or putting up all the money or doing all the work and using all your energy. But maybe there's a better way. Right? There might even be an opportunity that's just for you. Maybe there's something that you need to go out on your own and do. Right? And that may bring in even an opportunity again for success, for healing, something that you can be proud of. This will be something really that you can learn a lot from as well. All right, so that's what we've got for money. All right, let's see with purpose. Communication is key. New moon in Gemini. All right, so communication with your purpose. Maybe there is, right, someone you need to speak to. Maybe this is something that you need to share on a more like social or global sort of scale. Like if you're on social media, maybe you've got a channel or something like that. If this is something that you've kept to yourself, it may be time to kind of get the word out or connect with someone or another person that can help you out here. Right? There's twins on this card, so there could be, like I said, another person that you need to reach out to, or maybe you've gone back and forth a little bit. Right? One has their eyes closed, one has their eye open, kind of looking in 2 different directions here. And maybe this has to do with whatever this new opportunity that you might, right, even start out kind of thinking you're going alone or keeping to yourself in the money category. All right, let's see here. Knight of Pentacles. Maybe you get a message or information and it kind of sends you down a path or lights up your purpose a little bit more, or gets things moving in the right direction. All right, Knight of Pentacles. This is really slow, methodical energy. And I've mentioned that a couple times. I think even at the beginning, whatever card came out about your dreams needing a practical plan. So this is starting to plant seeds or take steps, even if they are slow. But the steps that the Knight of Pentacles takes, they're long lasting, they're worth it, they're still working towards the goal. All right, let's see what else wants to come out. This, ooh, the Sun. And we've got 2 people on this card as well, so there may be someone that you need to confide in, or, you know, sometimes other people have information that can help you out as well. As I mentioned here, right, they're kind of looking away from each other, one with their eyes closed, one with their eyes open. But right here, right, there's sort of this coming together, looking each other in the face. This also can be, right, your internal energy, like masculine and feminine as well, and sort of getting yourself on the same page. Like I said, there could have been sort of this back and forth or a little uncertainty even. Right, but the Sun is the brightest card in the deck. All right, a sign of success, a sign of light. Yeah, what do we have here? King of Swords and the 4 of Wands. King of Swords came out upside down, so, or reversed. Maybe you do need to listen to what someone else has to say instead of maybe detaching yourself or, just kind of being my way or the highway. I'm not saying that you have to change what you're doing by any means, but there's nothing wrong with hearing someone out or taking in new information. Yeah, so not maybe being so rigid or not open. Right? I can do that a lot. Once I get something in my head, it's really the only way I can think of it. And sometimes that's a good thing, right? Sometimes you do need to just run with what you think and what you know. But other times, like I could just be missing even sometimes something really obvious, or, I'm just not willing to make any sort of adjustments or anything like that. And that can be really pig-headed, really stubborn, I guess, is what I'm getting with this. So even these two people look a little bit stubborn, actually, as they're kind of staring at each other there. All right, so have you been a little bit stubborn? But where are you at with your purpose? Right? Maybe it would do you well to try to let go of that a little bit, which, let me know if you figure out how to do that. And then with the Four of Wands, this is kind of something up-leveling or ascending or getting to the next level. All right, so maybe you need to get out of your own way a little bit. And that's where maybe you just tell someone or explain kind of the blockages you're having or what you're going through or where you may have any sort of struggles. Yeah, as I'm seeing the Nine of Wands here, which is potentially about being blocked, boundaries, all those sorts of things, right? Which are good things to have until they become detrimental to what you're trying to do. All right, so some kind of opening up or communication can really help your purpose here. And like I said, with the Four of Wands and the Sun, that's something that is success, something that's going to get to the next level. Yeah, definitely you're passionate about this. All right, but just making sure that you don't let that passion or that drive kind of like block you from seeing any other possibilities or absorbing any kind of new information or being able to pivot or make any kind of changes. Okay, but some sort of up level coming. And then at the bottom of the deck, a new romantic cycle approaches. New moon in Libra. So let's get a couple with that. Right, and if you're not actually looking for love, right, maybe there's just some new hobby, passion, or some sort of energy that comes into your life that just has you feeling a little bit lighter, has your heart feeling fulfilled. All right, Six of Pentacles. We've also got scales on this card. The romantic cycle is new moon in Libra, and Libra is represented by the scales. So something fair, something balanced, something that's going to be an equal give and take. So if you're single, maybe your past relationships were not really that way, right? Maybe you're the one that had to do everything and the scales were really skewed. All right, so this is something that is going to be fair for you. Something that's just. All right, let's get one or two more with it. Yeah, with the Eight of Swords here, right, like I was just saying in the past, maybe that wasn't the case. Maybe you felt really stuck. Maybe you stayed in past relationships, longer than you should have, or you kept giving and giving and giving when you didn't really have more to give because that's what you thought you were supposed to do. We've got another 8 here. So 8-8, Lionsgate is coming up. 8-8 just in a couple days. Maybe you meet this person around this time or during the Lionsgate portal. All right, so you could be getting some sort of messages coming in. Wow, and like I said, fair and just. The scales previously were possibly really skewed and tipped, like I said. Wow, a lot of Libra energy here. So, you know, you could be a Libra. Maybe this person is a Libra. Like I said, this is just something that is really good for you. Something that kind of wipes the slate clean, or I almost said settles the score. I don't know, that sounds a little revengeful, but yeah, definitely something coming in that's balanced, that's fair. Definitely has that Libra energy. All right, well, that is what we've got here for this reading for love, money, purpose for the month of August. I hope there was something here for you. If there was, I'd love if you'd share about it. You could leave me a comment or hit the like button. But yeah, let me know. All right, so that is what we've got for the reading. And until next time, peace.